Hey whiskey friends, I'm TW Wright and this is TW's Whiskey Blind. Here for another episode. I am at Lost Ark Distillery in Columbia, Maryland with my friend Brad Blackwell. Thanks for having me here today. We're going to do a little bit different of a whiskey blind tasting. Brad knows what this whiskey is because he made it and he's going to tell us a little bit about it later on. But I don't. Now I know Brad makes an awesome corn whiskey. I've had it before. It's really funky corn, pungent flavor that I love for a cocktail. I know that he makes a bourbon that I've had only in the barrel, young. I've never had it finished. And I know he's been talking a while about a rye whiskey. I'm a big rye fan, so I'm not sure if he's doing some prototypes of the rye. So we're gonna give this thing a taste. See what we like about it. Again, with all our episodes here, we're not trying to guess what it is necessarily, but just kind of enjoying it for what it is without knowing what it is. So we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so we're going to get things started here. We're going to go ahead and pour a little bit of this, take some samples. I love the color of this already. And I'm trying to not guess what I got here, but I'm thinking it can't be a rye because there's no way you could have gotten a rye that much color in a short period of time. Got a nice flavor, nice wood notes, and it got some grain notes in there too. All right, I like to add a little water here. Let's see what we got. Just start with a little bit. Nice balance. I'm always critical of when the barrel completely buries the grain. You definitely taste some corn in there. Nice balance with the barrel. Not too hot. Nice, comfortable drinking. I'm not sure what the ABV is on this. So, do you like it?
I was just waiting for you to finish. Do you want me to give you details on it?
Well, tell me. Just don't tell me what it is yet. But everybody has an opinion. Right. Even the people that make a whiskey have an opinion of their own whiskey. So, what's your opinion to this?
I think it's well balanced. This was aged in 15-gallon barrels. Not my favorite thing in the world, but as a startup, being young, sometimes a necessary evil in a way. And it's also, you know, you go to the store and you say you buy a whatever bourbon and you taste it. You never know where that came from. So as a distiller, when we're in here making this, we're tasting it during the fermentation, during the stripping runs, during the spirit runs. We got to know what it tastes like through every point in the process to get it right 2 years later, or 4 years or however long. So that's always the difficult part. So we use those small barrels to kind of work through it real fast, I guess you could say. But yeah, this is 20 months old, 20 months in the barrel, in that 15-gallon barrel. Probably could have taken it out a month or two earlier, wouldn't have hurt it. I still think it's fairly good balance.
I like it. It's not overly oaked, and I'm very critical of that. Again, too much wood, I think, you really buries your yeasty fermentation notes, which I like. This is delicious. We're going to take a pause here, and we're going to sip a little bit for a while, and we'll come back and talk more about it. I've been sipping this, and not the point of the whole thing, but I got a feeling this is your bourbon.
It definitely is my bourbon.
I've tasted this several times, stopping by. Brad's let me taste it right out of the barrel as it's aged. And I got to tell you, I was worried at one point that it was going to be over oaked. And you know, when a whiskey's in a barrel, it presents in different ways at different times. It sort of ebbs and flows. Sometimes it'll feel like, oh, it's getting too much oak, and then all of a sudden you taste it 3 or 4 months later, and the yeast notes or the grain notes have stood up a little bit. So you never know, and that's what that's your job, is to figure out the right time. So I'm really enjoying this. This is really a nice bourbon. Tell me a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so definitely this is the bourbon. This was barreled in, I believe, around September 17, so about 20 months old when we took it out. We wanted to so you talked about earlier about rye. So rye is definitely going to be a focus for us going forward. But we wanted our bourbon to be distinctly different from that rye recipe. So we wanted to make sure that we could do that, and we did that. Instead of putting rye in the bourbon, we used wheat. So this is, you could say, a wheated bourbon in the style of like a Maker's Mark, for example. The recipe on this, or the mash bill, is about 70% corn, 16% wheat, 14% malted barley.
Could definitely taste that barley in there.
Can you taste the
nice,
barley?
round, toasty grain, malty notes in there. I really like that.
I like to use the word chewy. A little chewy.
Good mouth, filling mouthfeel to it.
Yeah. So our big deal on this is we try to source everything locally too. So all the corn and wheat in this guy is grown here, not the region or the state, but in Howard County. So
in Howard County, Maryland.
Right.
Okay.
About 15 minutes, out close to where you live.
Okay.
So,
yep.
yeah, so all local, mash everything, mill everything in-house, and then impatiently waited for the barrels for 20 months.
Yeah, didn't we all? Well, this is really good. I appreciate it. I'm going to sip this a little bit more. And you're telling me it's not even in the bourbon you have isn't even in bottles yet, or is it not labeled yet?
It's in bottles, but we don't even have labels yet. So
okay.
You're the first person to taste, really.
All right. Well, hopefully this will be in bottles for us soon. And for the local Marylanders, definitely try to get a bottle of this. This is a really nice, tasty bourbon. What about people further away? Any future plans to distribute?
That's going to be a little while. This is our first batch, and we only have, we bottled it 250 bottles. So it's going to be kind of allocated.
So it's going to be a rare release.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, thanks. Cheers.
Yeah,
I appreciate
thank
you letting me come by and have a sip of this. Cheers, WBSE.